in the comments now.
Sure.
Yeah, more updates concerning that. But I think the biggest one is Rodri. The transfer hijacker Barcelona for Nabefa ahead of Real Madrid. In Komoka Krawo.
Madrid for Nejawu.
No, I think said they have to blame themselves.
Madrid for Nejabuta.
No, but I'm
Rodri.
So I heading.
Say, oh, you know what in common. Which in common if you say very positive. All of a sudden, Barcelona came into the picture. And as a Ninkomodieno, according to Madrid, for almost a Saga, a 32 Barcelona, because almost say, Omania Branton didn't come out. No more that assurance of Baba. You come and play Real Madrid.
Okay.
But all of a sudden, and now, as a comedian, so most of the tabloids now report to say a brand, were choosing Barcelona over a club from say Real Madrid. Before Babam Gran, I don't know. Before I didn't check Babana, and now I can't say Rodri deal the Abama Ebia Branteno about consider Barcelona main sanity. But I say a beer and bet me one of the factors are Abanteno consider or they kobo and answer why not just over Bodiama air Barcelona. First one, so Baka every other Ballon d'Or demand. Okay, acquire Real Madrid for the Faso.
Florentino Perez say among boycott.
Yeah. Secondly, we san Yamanina at the Tunchea. Acquire Real Madrid Faso and some are no more try the far Branton Hono. It seems as a go down wall and Farmer Rodri. All of a sudden, and then more Madrid for ya and I'm saying, Menyadie. Mean deserve say Ballon d'Or ye de be mame at a point mo boycott crans and ba age Medina se no afedi e man basa mo peme. Secondly, any pan on Florentino Perez pray Real Madrid akonya no ono so you Rodri so minya akonya na me dia Branton baba enti as at a point na Florentino Perez grave so as a Branton ko no go ni me camp good enti eden na chinchinchina me nkofa ne mfa ne mrabat. It seems now that opinion on Shedem Filia Branton. So until Jose Marino came in and all catches so Minya Rodri and come pay. Now my papa any option be a anti acquires a Rodri no if you so Omukra Namu film is a so I say Jose Marino and all of a sudden Mobesa Mobana Moede Mobe Fami. I don't know. Who tete stories in the mini adiana no. Jane all of a sudden. Rodri say afedi onyanko Real Madrid but Barcelona obisi akan dia momo
on dia wake enu tina mentia say Real Madrid for some buefu. Who are you angry at? That's my question. Because on say it was quite clear Rodri emani ye pefe say he wanted to go back to Spain. Intino opese oko ekusi akan in Spain with the 1 year now kind of contract to Manchester City no. He had no intention saying could be renewed. Man City for no your Madrid so man 3 years more. Rodri did 30 years. Wabo World Cup will reach. And in that World Cup, he was the standout performer in the Spain national team as the national team captain. In the entire debut, once you play the FIFA World Cup, and once you play the FIFA World Cup and you make a very good performance for yourself, you use that as a leverage to demand for more. And Rodri no on himself, although there's age not on his side, we did 30 years, but on himself born no betimi abobi aka ho. But in the twilight of his career no, he would appreciate to go and play that football in Spain. It is not here now doing so best signing new contract no Man City. That's number one. Rich number two. Of course, if a player gives you their word, say I will sign for you. Now on far pen and to paper so sign a contractor, he can decide to go and he can decide to change his mind. And I like the fact that you talked about Enrique Riquelme. Well, bro, in the campaign, his campaign promise was that Real Madrid president or the Rodri, any Abrantia your friend Ellen Haaland, you bring them from Man City to come and play for Real Madrid. So that alone tells you the fact that it's possible. Say be a Florentino Perez, no. Because of that simple promise that Riquelme made, no, those two players were not players. Ojidi say ono be president, he would like to bring them to the club. Rich uye no free one. When the rumors had started, say Man City, say Real Madrid no, any player no agree personal terms. Real Madrid were not happy about it. Report bebre eba bonting say Real Madrid had agreed personal terms with Rodri. Emma Real Madrid pay you for no crown frame Man City for catch me say what are you saying? There is no agreement. There has been no agreement between us and the player. So that false reportage chain. Rich, you see, the thing about Rodri is that at this point in his career, what he really wanted was that he was going to a place where he would be accepted. Look at Real Madrid team here. They have a clear gap in that midfield. Abra, Luka Modric, and Toni Kroos, a free team. They have not been able to replace that particular holding midfield roller or a deep line playmaker carrying the ball from the back and pushing it forward. Omu Nibi. You cannot say Aurelien Tchouameni is that kind of player.
At a point, Danny Ceballos be kakra, but on to pray. That's when you're available.
Yes. So when you tell me that Jose Mourinho needed the player, I can agree with you because that gap needs to be filled. And Oshe, the spat between Aurelien Tchouameni and Abrantia Federico Valverde, that chaos has also been existent in that particular midfield. In Tikaudi Rodri Ebetuma, you solve that gap. You have experience. You have a player who can guarantee you consistent performances for about 2 or 3 seasons. And when MP, Mourinho would like it. But Rich, Nietiani say, Rodri at this point, looking at the fact that Florentino Perez himself was not so interested in him from day one. And Akoya say, in Komona na Omudino, Florentino Perez Yanadrin say, Sikana, now Rodri no, he was not willing to meet it. Omun fam beto abontin, say Abia Sikawi na Rodri Castle wope, and a young farm mano. But the report is that there were certain agreements that they couldn't reach with the player. Because Akoya so much to the Subo. Rodri Cascante Hernandez after the World Cup, wherever he wants to go and play, he would want to go to a team where there's a wholehearted acceptance of him to come into the team. But Florentino Perez, no, he didn't demonstrate that, both in his sentiments and also in terms of the player and wages. It will share. Initially, now I reluctant kakra, and Jose Mourinho a man here clear say, "Oh, minya Branton and Kamepeno." That was when he decided to push in and see if he could get a player. Now, Rich, look at how Barcelona came and snatched the player. If Sir Rodri Ene or Sainima Basewia, he would have joined at least 8 more players in that Barcelona team that played at the Spanish team at the FIFA World Cup. Lamine Yamal woho, Gavi woho, Dani Olmo woho, Pedri woho, Pau Kubasi woho, Eric Garcia woho, Jean Garcia woho. Then Ferran Torres, but of course, I'm sure will be few. So 8 players.
So adaptation
is not difficult, Rich. And I can understand if I was Rodri. Come on, I'm not even. I would believe say Omo Abraham more camp Mpuno. There were discussions with him, with those players. Say Rodri say no. Oman City carry no. Odi abewe ye. ABA obe sign contract. But even if you don't sign, Barcelona is a place where you can come and join us. We will play good football. We will enjoy ourselves. When MP say ABA 8 players who I am very familiar with and I can easily flow with, I will go and play with those players. I will go. And it shows that they need that player because he instantly goes into that Barcelona team and he becomes very, very key. Watch Frankie de Jong. He is one player you can't count on him for 37, 38 games in a season. Frankie de Jong, so you have Rodri, who comes in. Hansi Flick needs him in that midfield. He's that deep line playmaker. He wants to come back and play in Spain. It's in commanding in any. Florentino Perez needs to blame himself. So when you play, no, na they cannot be angry with Rodri because this is a player who is prioritizing his peace and to enjoy the last part of the football. So me, I side with Rodri. If today, why not say or call Barcelona, and he's going to be tactically fit and he's going to gel well with that team, and adaptation and he's going to play with 8 players who he played together with and won the World Cup with DR. I think that's the easiest option for him to take. And I think the deal is progressing. Few minutes ago, Fabrizio Romano de Betu Abonti said there's a lot of speed and club to club negotiations have no here. And it's reported say Abia Sikana Mumitia for player about 50 million euros. But until the final figure is out, they will spend around that figure for your plenty. Rich, that's the situation from Rodri.
Me to discuss and announcing Chichibu of the mine now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Most likely, Rodri bet me Ako Barcelona.
And yes, so he's going to be a Barcelona player by the end of the day. They'll be Madrid. No, Madrid can't do anything about it. On say the number one reason is because of the uncommon only player need and how they were not willing to go all out for him. So that alone is an indication that look, baby, they will not like you the way if you compare to Barca, they will like you. Look at Real Madrid as well. Of course, Jose Mourinho is coming, but that is a team. You cannot take the egos away from there. And Real Madrid is always in the news for some notorious reasons. Even though, if you go there and you are able to adapt and you are able to be competitive, and Rodri, no, I don't think he was even going to compete with anybody. Once he got there, Mourinho was going to put him straight in the lineup. But the thing about Madrid is there's always that politics. They have that in their team. It will not vanish today, it will not vanish tomorrow. It is their tradition. But open, more flexible, more cultural, more tiki-taka, that one is more accepted. And even with Jose Mourinho, one of the things that now make Gadani say, Real Madrid one of his philosophies is that he wants to play more direct. Sir, also Rodri kind of pose. He may not necessarily want that kind of play. On the end, push off flanks. Vinicius Junior go into the box, cross it. Money sim na obim pimshem. Meaning, so what's in common here? So you would have been very important for Real Madrid, but the direction of Real Madrid now will not really suit him that much. But Barcelona, Hansi Flick, Yanto Yaboasi, Tiki Taka, Bonise, Embra, that kind of possessive football. And that is what Rodri enjoys. If I don't think that Rodri will go to Real Madrid, Rich, it will not happen. Or call Barcelona. And by the end of the day, you will see that here we go. Romano de Beba. I was sure.
Madrid and Barcelona, they say so.
The rivals.
The rival in there. Omontemtino. I say, Eddie can't play. Now, bien so, Rodri, Vianesa. Not team, I ain't in was Spain. You know, when you shall one. Yeah. And the Hononama Ashama.
Was a show.
And the Oko media as well. X, for instance, Mother for mu trouble Rodri off.
That's a wine fault.
Said the music.
But Richard said Chelsea as out of player for.
Yeah.
On the Debia me bahana me Chelsea, me did Chelsea in command. I'm for say Debia me 2 Chelsea buyers. I know about Chelsea. One year business for marketing rich. Me bisa was him. Who is buying the players in the market as we speak?
Players in to do. Already players. They all cram.
And do you know that's the problem with Chelsea right now? Yes. And I agree with you, Rich. Because as it stands right now, Chelsea were about 41 players who books so. And they can only register, I think, 25 for Premier League season at Airbay. Season never shall see in the next 14 days or Rich. By the time our window will be closing on September 1st, no, I was a players beating me for Chelsea. Maguire, Nicolas Jackson, Benoit Badiashile, Abrantia, your friend, Akoi, even Pedro Neto is linked, say, A, B, or bit me a but generally, that trophy fan amo. There are a lot of players in Chelsea right now. They have no business being there. But Akoi say, Yentimin Tom, Yentimin team, That is the reason why they are still there. And Rich, it will amaze you to know, say, Chelsea had to expand on the dressing room to accommodate some of the players. They had to expand the dressing room, and that is not right. Because as you are buying, you need to have a plan for Nkrofo before. And when Timmy and you are in Fiwa, they become a bed in Omenya Omo Akwetia, Omo Bo, Omo Bo. Once the week is over, you have to pay them. And that may be the headache of Abrante and Xabi Alonso today, and also the sporting directors. Players be also mufio, whether on loan or permanent. They have to sell them, get enough cash, and I'm sure Rich said Chelsea they want to make at least 1 or 2 more marquee signings. Aside a year Pep Chavarria over joining Chelsea, at least I think by the end of the channel we will see that announcement. And Pep Chavarria and Common Rich, Mamindi Nkakrebi na yenko yenim. On say after we saw Ashley Cole play for Chelsea for about 8 years from 2006 to about 2014. Omo left back on my board Chelsea no. Most of them you cannot really vouch for them in terms of how precise and how direct they were. Meaning say yenya players BT say Ryan Bertrand Mo they were not so explosive. And Ryan Bertrand point me nya Chelsea and Bobby Brio ko loan. Abrante Efeno Ben Chilwell, Marcos Alonso, Felipe Luis, Baba Rahman Obebo Kakra, and even Emerson Palmieri. Our left backs are Chelsea in recent time prior to Cucurella. But when you look at Pep Chavarria and the kind of things that he has, the attributes now they back Chelsea from Rayo Vallecano, I see a player who is not just versatile, rich, or the ability to even anticipate and also spot chances out of nothing. And now Michel go be power Shema Rayo Vallecano against Atletico Madrid. Over 35 yards out, and not in the left, no. A bob on the share. And Oko social media says, yeah, that video is even trending. But when I look at the player, and I look at the fact that Xabi Alonso at this point, no, he would want to play 3 back, he would want to play 4 back. And Obeynya players be are more attributes in terms of versatility, directness, pace, anticipation, awareness, the ability to take risks. Because the teams be our Bobiano, he wants those kind of attributes in players. For Marc Cucurella, Abraham Cucurella, every Chelsea call Real Madrid. When I looked at the news, initially not Eyameya. But I was thinking about it, say, look, if you are able to get a player who can instantly come into that Chelsea setup and be able to play 3 back and also play 4 back, wing back, or as center back or even left back, you are able to get a versatile player who is able to give you so much more than just Cucurella. Because Cucurella, no, the way he developed himself through Air Brighton to Chelsea, no, I understand that he came to a stage where he had to develop. But Pep Chavarria, no, within 28 years, he's coming from Rayo Vallecano. Maybe only Premier League experience. But what I'm saying is that Usha the way Usi fit in different places at different times and is able to take the risk and has awareness. No, I'm very sure say he will be one of the standout performers for Chelsea this season.
Okay. Messages are urban in easy crowd. Omu kebi chema for Omuzwa. Omu defende. First message from our AJ Ministry so say, Richardo, good morning. Real Madrid fans should not be angry. We are almost done with Marc Cucurella and Bernardo Silva. But what happened? They hijacked them all. Next season will be I see next season will be good, Papa. Okay. Our message of the Abraham Isaac Mensah say Real Madrid will increase the money ahead of Barcelona and get him quickly. Okay. Isaac Mensah's message of the Abraham, no. Senior Neymar. I say, please let me tell you something really important. Bernardo Silva can do the type of job Rodri does on the pitch, coming from back to receive and contribute to his players. It's a simple thing for Bernardo Silva. Amadu Funi Pino no Mashasi. Opamabwa no way nyana. Sebi. I was saying Abdullahi Dramani Ase Richardo. We go from Martins Zubimendi. Mokako to us now.
Na usika odukako for Zubimendi yesi bi.
Zakaria Simon, I say good morning Richardo and your crew. I totally agree with your guy who is speaking, but I also think Bernardo Silva can do that. Bernardo Silva does it better. Okay. Zakaria, and now this message, and so at the Brian Robert today also watching the show from our friend Plains. I truly love the show. Okay. I say I presume the deal is not yet done. So Real Madrid can push and get him.
Oh, push with
the Abba and no say
push with the
and so GD.
I say GD for be woman.
So now no a bit for man for venture to na I mean last week I open say odi ewrem na yento so I'm a day. I say Richard, there's news circulating from Jacob Benz that Manchester United are interested in Liam Delap and want more confirmation. I said one confirmation on that.
Liam Delap
story in the field.
Uncle United.
In the first place, that's story in the field.
So as we be catch us say there seem to be an interest.
Interest being
United for Botugu.
Away.
Na say
mo journalist mo petit midi ato abrante na man. Say loan say whatever I don't know. And mo journalist akọ church om story. So Manchester United yes e pe Liam Delap. Yeah, you didn't hear that. Yeah, Zegzi crazy Pobia Manatono. Zegzi. Joshua Zegzi Gray Pobia Manatono. Not Delap. You didn't hear that.
Oh, but Delap Oba United on Bobia Man.
The patrol Amo.
What's your mom by 3 goals? What's your mom 3 goals?
Joshua. Yeah.
So the standard no 3 goals.
Yeah, striker. Obama double the guitar. What's your uncle Liam Delap? Even a Chelsea going to be amo. Oh, David. Yes, I'm mistaken. Last week, nah.
Rich, unim say, recently, me the two just say Kuti Romero was possible so be free. Tottenham Hotspur. And Opaya na yadi abetu just say Atletico Madrid are preparing a new bid for a player no because omodi in kind by Emma Tottenham Hotspur for no kase derby. Omu ko back no mu sanko physical for Enfamra. And already no na Inter Milan the player nechi. Until at this point no, I think that for sure Kuti Romero will be free Tottenham Hotspur.
Is Arsenal grounds show interest?
Of course, I will say Arsenal show interest because Siano, as we speak, William Saliba or injury. And say Arsenal for now have said it. If they want to have their best foot forward in this particular league, I shall say as champions they are. Also, into say left wing no make for player about kwa beka omo ho a also mo ye say defense no also omo ye ward so also mo ye but eneno another update Rich and he say it's possible say Gabriel Jesus ebe fio Napoli for e player na chi gidi inti I think and also we will get some news from there in the coming days but transfer no e bio and say no Rich oti transfer bi amane nya wanwa because clubs are doing a lot of deals behind the closed doors. And about Bontia, Abia will be shocked. But Okoshima. Now, one to say no, I say Chelsea for the Martins will be many. But then, Nami Munisa. I
do say you are man for social stories.
You get it. So, you sometimes you look at it. Until the confirmations come out, no. Most of the news, linking player because now it should be Mendy. Why never turn Zubimendi to Chelsea? At this point, Arteta. Just only 150 million ever and on one
or competitor.
Share on from out that. So Rich, you better come on the I think transfer any from now to September 1 window never close, more things will happen. And Eba, Yama wait here for no so much be.
Samu, I brand to be the message be by me. Try Zenka. Me who some message na I figured was it Rodri best low game no.
Best low game. We did for game no.
Because the Rodri no Ojobo Boasi. Yeah. Tempo controller. So on the betch derby. Baby as say tempo of the game na do no. Mama injini na ball so kakra no bia home. Yemfa ball nko left. Yemfa right. Yemko yachi. Na keeper mo ball in sim so I ran to the message. Everyone say me.
Obi a excuse.
Obeso o say. Saturday na we road the hono. Or the barrier Madrid dem home. Obe slow attack no. Madrid dem pesa. Ye obo no omoje ball na 1 2 3
no mo come
it has on the flanks and on the Mbappe
yeah
so what I say Rodri no so afa no obeje ball na twa no ho a control mumien kwa yenye say sa pass o say obarema
say no na me
ba o enti sa ne man na no omunim na just
so mo kofa na ba say no na make but I you see that's the excuse on Bema for this kind of things if you are rich
I have some transfer who play a part no be gini views about ya che bibi
into na Arsenal for no on say still make Chelsea for kakra because of Morgan Rogers no say no more I award so mo kwa player and Chelsea for far Morgan Rogers
but finally Vinicius Junior so standing in the
contract yeah 6 years
at the Real Madrid Bobo Corinthi and the Arsenal's pursuit
of the player
and
minimum say I think after that no omo the attention echo Bradley Barcola so Arsenal for no until they have also entered the race for Bradley Barcola
and the Bema Paris Saint-Germain
no but you see Bradley Barcola as we speak no only Liverpool for agree personal terms
say no personal term I won na but club to club no more agree
it
for example them for example yam fan say be as say Arsenal ko na Liverpool build out the let's say 100 million out the coin no Arsenal so okay obi about price player 100 million he made me amount 120 do you think so why na Paris Saint-Germain be person in the business
I agree with you and I like the angle Awodeba but Rich
agreeing personal terms with the player no and no yan said that you be as how
and
club to club ni I agree so what I say and you know sometimes so only player ni we I saw yan in terms club to club negotiation no
and also I proceed
because obi to say Rodri so now remember didn't come quite but all of a sudden Barcelona be more so chance so money Abrante didn't come on here na dia asuti
Manentia make us and say I think Barcola prefers Liverpool because
the players they mean
I know but nkomodie nim no as a player no wa hye ne timu po say a Liverpool no project no and appeal to him more. That is according to reports Ayeti. I am looking at it from this angle as well. Say, oh, Shushe Vinicius Junior no way nyana. Is Bradley Barcola the answer? And ask now for na maybe some question with you. Because I get it, Bradley Barcola no, when you watch him in the World Cup for France, he was a little bit upgraded from what we saw from him in even previous seasons. And PSG Nankasano, Ocean Bobo, I think he's improving a little bit. But so when you have Vinicius Junior, is Barcola the answer? Because show Rich, PSG for said they are pricing the player at nothing less than £145 million. And they say Arsenal for Krambe Baina. That's the amount they'll be paying. Would they be willing to pay that money for the player? I don't think so. I don't think so. Sana mimi huno.
So already I'm the 100 akko.
And the say no Liverpool.
Sorry, Liverpool
Liverpool
didn't carry 100 akko.
I'm on
and a PSG for so omo nje 100.
Yeah.
Omo better de no.
Yeah.
Hantina na me catch say Arsenal ko sisi
yeah.
No mo catch me say okay. Liverpool price no on the buy. Near person better no. You say it be about 10 million, be now 20 million. I'm telling you. So my friend Barcola catch as a massa. Yeah, then call for you until you are being a cobomom.
But as Rich, do you think say Barcola to us now will solve their problems in the flanks? My genuine question, I'm person business now for no. It's the Arsenal for BT. I won't send a message. Is Barcola the one who can? Because Arsenal say we're a champion. Who they have been to the Champions League final. They have won the Premier League. Rich, the pressure to play for Arsenal now, and yet ABA Arsenal of 2 or 3 seasons ago. They said they have crossed a certain bridge. They cannot afford to drop it. They cannot afford to drop the ball. They can't afford to go back. It's an old signing player. You are signing quality, and you are guaranteed of good performance. It is a Barcola now. You need to know that there's a risk. Player Nankasano, he's not so flamboyant. He's now improving. He's not so flamboyant. Are you willing to spend that amount on him? And Obana or Intimia on board the way you start blaming him. Arteta, I can trust that Arteta be managing player and may get the best out of him.
Such a sad call.
Good.
And an nonsense na yati say Martinelli so complaining. Onusunya playing time
and show
Arsenal.
Yes.
Into ono so consider say bia obetimi akọ. So what I say, bia Arsenal for no so when say Trossard the cop Martinelli so be play out. O hwa say na nice bibi so.
Yeah.
Ochono be catch also okwa. E say onya play nti yenko for Bakula mra. Which I think the Bakula by is a good player.
He's a good player for Arsenal.
He's very good.
Me huni sa.
Onimbo ma.
And yes onimbo.
Sir.
But the weight of the pressure that will be attached to him in that Arsenal setup, no.
Arsenal. Yeah.
But there's pressure. There's pressure to perform.
I don't think that Barcelona
you go to play. Anyway, now so Marco for a Christos Solis crown from a Club Brugge. And who shares our player and performance. I think he played about 77 games and scored about 33 goals for Saga club, no. And no, I watched him in preseason on Real Betis boy and saying I thought he did quite well. And you know, maybe you never know, but to spend that amount, rich. Anyway, so transfer this will be maybe into when Chia winya.
Asemu, I say there, Sana dear no echo. Okay, I'm saying me message no. I say Real Madrid play quick counter attack football.
Yeah.
So buying Rodri will slow our progress to quick counter attack. Bernardo Silva will surprise everyone this coming season.
No, sir, when you're Rodri there, you have to improvise. But I like the fact that they have also accepted the fact that Bernardo Silva bet me.
But maybe Ejuma Rodri yeno.
And yet Bernardo Silva.
Yen cannot crench Ejuma na Rodri yeno. Bernardo Silva bet me.
He cannot do that consistently for a very long time.
Rodri wrong. On say or a midfielder. And Makase say football no because of numbers. Inti there be under a cosi saying argument, you know.
Yeah.
Ebem.
Yeah.
Inti as a rate players are players, you know, assist goals or match share.
Yeah.
Goals involvement. Inti there be an across of football near the numbers in the kasa.
Yeah.
But look, Rodri. A brand new Rodri Cascante.
Or a machine.
So on the group, muno jenfish, you know, say name me Rodri naba. Prebian ni me.
Na me bomb.
And never see me jenfish from me boba. Rodri no made for that. No made for that. It me kind of time on J Ballon d'Or no. Now me catch that man for say, look, yeah, cause on deserve because we made for that on time she goes. So what I say, on this year so yeah, both game na game here they Rodri a she go the Man City.
Yeah.
And for that matter, it makes him a good player. But look, Rodri, yenyi say ko see saying argument
and few
look, ball pa, you can't say made for the bimbo ball. Say me opponent to kuta ball. Menji ball ni nyen ye. Me na me esame chire.
Yeah.
Baby a game na do no tempo no. Ma me slow it down. Na players no be an home. Me fa passes in mo. Look, that guy
is a different animal.
Or man ye fe kra keke.
Different guy.
Bernardo Silva is a good player.
Yeah. But yentimi fa to Rodri at this
Ejuma Rodri be ye no.
No.
I doubt.
Yeah.
I doubt it's our brand no. Ebetimi aye wo nti. Anyway, sir, Obia no asabi obeka se ni play anya de. Me tie Joshua Zexi say nyame adoma next season started. No that's all Manchester United da upo me baba bona baso.
But it's other number when your news be about why United are not signing, when you be ana like only obi di nkoma ma we say
to be honest with you, so far me share den nya bibia, but I think that previously no there be another catch was United the plan near first year yen travel no they you tuska good do and then me catch Manchester fans and they say it's not like yen top players so you top players opa check it then the last 3-4 years you can United you spending on transfers by result number. So I think the new management under Sergio no ebia adwen say okay this time no yen to top players ni bebre ye beto kra ye be for players are ye few say omoba ombe man resort and sika no yen bia bebre because previously no ye ma players bi din adadan akoto omo with sika kese omoba no result na ye pe as a club no mo ntimi afa mai so yen kon say bi enti so be ha say yen transfers no low key yen cheda enye na yibia sa so as a yekono kakra because yempese yebe sound to sika gu bebiri.
Yeah.
I think that is the decision.
But
anya sadia me who reason ti abesi ne yen share dan talk players bebre. I don't know.
But man yen sound so Europe na mo kwa kobo no anhwa na nko yi amamu.
Say na the Europe no to players bebre na je say.
There be say o say mo to players for squad depth. Na some mo boy Europe mo more games. Into more games at least you have to have more players.
And I say na Mikel be boy abaso den. I say Yili Tillemans no.
Aye.
Always clear the fan na.
A good bargain. Oh yes, I agree
because
with that.
Because Yili Tillemans.
Yeah.
Abrante no boy obo as a player.
Yeah.
You na say you now the World Cup.
Yeah.
What we both positions be 6 and 8 to the what I say. Na yetimi a year negotiation year.
Yeah.
It's chance as can the kofa. Abrante I think around 40 million or so.
Yeah.
Hey, good deal. Until this time no. Empese a bit chance canon. And your player be if you so be a onye a dinin ho gidi but or your player or bar average obet me a my performance na pa. Why not? It's kaka baby ya de be ma no.
Ba mo to bin ka ho. Mo to bin ka ho.
Eno nya mo ma se mo na say moto over 40. Moto over 40. By your best statistics ye be we na mo da 50.
Bebre beko.
Ah, okay. See there ho.
There be bebre beko. Na so mo kwa na afi na I squad na nkasa begina. Aye. Udani wo be ku nyina benya.
Dani.
Aye, obenya chance to play. It don't worry Rich. This is in the shema ebeshamu. Munyam yi. Munto bi nka ho.
Alright, yenye na Bismarck Osimhen pa ya lanso no. And to us before ya la beto asokra no. Me pa